And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 208 of Player Life. It is the first episode of 2022 because I missed last week's episode. No, not last week. What day is today? Missed Tuesday's episode. Tuesday's episode. Yeah, missed that. Or Monday night's episode, Eastern Standard Time. Was yeah, player life sometimes gets in the way. Yeah, I'm kind of need to be more disciplined about that. But yeah, I had some female company over, and I was like, yeah, didn't get around to it. Didn't get around to doing the episode, but it happens from time to time. So happy New Year. Bit late, it's the 7th here in Tokyo, Friday the 7th. Um, so yeah, it is what it is. But 2022, another year. Jason L says, "Let's get Mac to 1,000 subs." I was at 1,000. Now it's gone back down. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, are people actually like unsubscribing, or is it like just YouTube fuckery? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I really doubt YouTube promotes this kind of content. But I don't really trust. I don't trust YouTube. Who knows? But it's hard to grow this channel. But it's this kind of content is not it's not very YouTube friendly. They're It's a pretty PC platform. I doubt they're I doubt the algorithm really wants it to grow. But Riley in the house, what's good, brother? Happy New Year to you too, sir. Um, Gabrielle, Happy New Year, bro. What up? Uh, Daniel G says, Happy New Year, brother. Happy New Year to you. Rabbit Travel says, I think your content is a lot less edgy than most Red Pill guys. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, so 2022. Yeah, so another year. Yeah, so today's episode, want to talk about. I thought a friend of mine sent me this funny video. Yeah, it's pretty. I thought it was pretty funny. Of a gold digger getting scammed. Some of you guys might have seen it already, but uh, some of you guys might say it's about this. It's about this woman who goes on Tinder. I think it was Tinder, and she met this who she thought was this famous, not famous, but really rich guy. Um, and she obviously swiped right on him. But yeah, he basically scammed her out of like $200,000, and she was crying about it. Um, obviously you would be crying about getting scammed out of $200,000, but no, I just thought it was funny because I think you know maybe not $200,000, but I mean, I think a lot of women have scammed men out of a lot of money, and no one really cares. It's just like, yo, no one gives a shit. It's just people. It's just a day in the life, you know. Um, Not obviously not a day in the life getting scammed out of $200,000, but basically, yeah, no one bats an eyelid when women kind of scam men out of money. Obviously red pill guys pay attention to it and highlight it, but in general, it's just like, oh, the guy has to treat the girl, and I mean, women. I mean, there's websites, like that, websites like Seeking Arrangement that are set up for girls to not scam guys out of money, but like get money out of them. It's basically, there's no website for men. There's no website. Well, maybe there are, like, but there's no website for men that men can go on and be like, try and hustle women out of money, to go on dates with them. Like, if there was, I would use it. Like I said, there are websites, but like the average guy can't go on it and use it. Like, you need to be, yeah. Even a top percent guy probably wouldn't get that much business out of it. You'd need to be a top tier scammer to make that work. But you know, it's like the analogy of, you could have like an average girl on Instagram that posts provocative photos would get more attention, would probably get more DMs than like a famous guy. Like, that's a comparison you can make. And like an average girl, it's just men and women are not the same. We don't operate in the same way. Right, he says misogyny, lol. Also, think, Mac, you're not a hot chick either, but I take your advice over looks any day of the week. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, but it's just men and women are different. It's just funny when people say men and women are the same. Like, even when guys say it, when blue pill guys say, like, when people say like, oh, girls just want sex just as much as men, it's just like, nah, they really don't. Like, I'm not saying that they don't like sex, but it's just different. It's just they like it. They like it under certain conditions. That's pretty much the way it operates. It's just they don't seek out sex as voraciously as men. I mean, the data is in, like, the data, they just don't. And I'm not saying they don't like sex, but it's under certain conditions with the right guy at the right time. Just different. But yeah, let me share the screen. Yes. So, woman says a man she met on Tinder swindled her out of $200,000. He didn't just dump you; he never existed. Yeah. So let me just check it out. I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike, so I don't know if it makes a difference. I won't put it full screen.
Battle against COVID are ahead of us, not behind us. It's called.
Is this an ad or? Yeah.
Charismatic and seemingly wealthy beyond measure. For Celia Feloy, it was an easy decision to swipe right.
This guy, Simon, comes up on my phone, and you can see that he lives a very different life than what I'm living. He had some selfies, a picture in a nice car. You could see that it was a private jet, just an overall package.
The 29-year-old grad student studying in London says she was immediately swept off her feet by Simon Livive and swept into a high-powered world of luxury.
Just his aura and charisma.
After all, most first dates don't end with a trip on a private jet.
They take you to get on this plane and you go to Bulgaria.
Yeah. I was texting my friends at the same time, like, I don't know what's going on.
You stayed with him.
Yeah.
You had a nice time, and then you came back to the UK. And then what did you think? This was going to continue as a relationship?
When I started like feeling like, okay, this guy actually is really nice.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, she's not hideous looking. She's not, but she's not private jet worthy. Let's be real. Like, come on. Like, she's yeah, I don't know how old she is. How old? I don't know. Does it say her age? Oh, she's 29. So when she was 21, she might have been 7. She might have been 8. I don't know. But now she's like a 5 or 6. Like, she's 29. yeah, she's not private jet worthy. I don't know when this happened. Did it happen when she was 29? But yeah, she's definitely not private fucking jet worthy. Like I said, she's not hideous, she's not ugly, but she's not like fucking, yeah, she's average as fuck. Like, especially since she's 29. Yeah, nowhere near being private. I'm gonna invite this chick on a private fucking jet. Like, come on.
Nice and funny, and yes, someone that I could date and like maybe have something with.
But her dream of finding Mr. Right went horribly wrong.
I hate him. He's so horrible.
Celia says Simon told her he was an Israeli millionaire with a nickname, the Prince of...
If she's crying over him, she actually probably still loves him. It's the cold hard truth. Like if she's getting it's, if it's evoking her emotions that much, she probably like still like is thinks he's great.
Of diamonds, but he wasn't who he said he was.
It's very tired about crying over this, but it just comes and I can't help it. It's just so painful because I hate myself for
the Prince of fucking Diamonds. Gee, who would believe that? Like, it's so cheesy. My nickname is the Prince of Diamonds. How gullible? How much of a gullible idiot they have to be to believe that? Like, come on.
I just hate that I did this,
And according to Celia, their brief romance turned into a real-life nightmare. Celia alleges he defrauded her out of $200,000, leaving her spiraling into debt, suicidal, and fearing for her safety. That nightmare now over. In June, Simon was arrested in Athens for using a false passport, following a joint operation between Interpol and Israeli police.
He manages to do this because he is a great guy who pretends that he cares.
Oh my God. You hear what she's saying? Even after all this, even after he scammed her out of $200,000 and dumping her and leaving her, kicking her to the curb and like taking her money and kicking her to the curb, she still says he's a great guy. Man, you can't even make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. After all that shit, he manages to do this because he's a great guy. Man, I'm telling you guys, the nicer you are to these chicks, the worse they're going to treat you. The worse you are to them, the higher they're going to value you. It's insane. Like, I don't, I'm just, delivering the news, I'm not, but, oh my, it's just, you can't even make that up. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Great fucking guy. It's hilarious, man. But, Trump was right. Donald Trump was right, What was his famous quote? You got to treat him like shit. You want a girl to like you, it's not that simple, but it's like you got to understand the dark triads. You gotta be a savage with these women, if like you really do. Like, I'm not saying you got to swindle them out of $200,000, but really, like, it's fucking like she said it. Like,
Using a false passport, following a joint operation between Interpol and Israeli police.
He manages to do this because he is a great guy.
There you heard it. He manages to do this because he is a great guy. Fucking, oh man, she deserves it, to be honest. I don't feel sorry for her at all. Like, pity he didn't take more money off her. That would have been better, because, like, how can you have pity for someone who's calling? Imagine getting scammed out of $200,000 and then like telling, saying, oh, but they're a great person. They're great. They're great. Imagine how much of a cock you'll be if some chick scammed you out of $200,000 and, oh, but she's great. She's so sweet. Oh, that'd be like, oh, she's such an angel. Fuck this bitch. Like, look at her.
Who pretends that
Innocent
he cares so much
fucking
for
head in
other
her.
people, so you want to care for him as well.
A lot of people watching might think if it was
Yeah.
£3,000 or £4,000, I would start to feel like I need this money back. You let it get to 200.
I know it sounds so crazy for people, but the sums weren't a lot, and I could see the spend that he did on my cards.
She spoke out to us earlier this year to warn others about the dangers of online dating. Simon Levive, born Shimon Hiut, is a 28-year-old convicted con man who previously served 3 years in Finnish prison for defrauding several women to fund his lavish lifestyle of private jets and fast cars, which he loved to show off. Now he faces extradition to Israel, where he was indicted in 2011 on charges unrelated to Celia of forgery and fraud, having fled the country before he was set to stand trial.
When I'm reading the messages,
I gotta get this guy. This guy sounds interesting. Gotta get him on the show. Well, actually, this guy probably has really like good game. I would say he must have pretty good game if he's able to pull this shit off. Because you would definitely need game to be able to do something like this. Like even though she's she's average, still to be able to like to be able to manipulate and pull something off like that. Yeah.
as well see how much talk there is about the banks, and then I was just like, you're so stupid, you know.
Celia says she'd been lulled into a false sense of security by his grand romantic gestures and flowery declarations of love.
I will support you, I will help you, and we will lift each other. You're nice, you're cute, you're sweet. You let me to do what I need to do, and I really, really, really appreciate it.
What the fuck was that? How fucking fake and sterile was that? Jesus.
Celia says she'd been lulled into a false sense of security by his grand romantic gestures and flowery declarations of love.
I will support you, I will help you, and we will lift each other. You're nice, you're cute, you're sweet.
You're nice, you're cute, you're sweet.
You let me to do what I need to do.
You let me do what I need to do. What the fuck? Like this guy it's so sterile. It sounds so dumb. But she fell for it. She fell for it. Her gold digging eyes. Man. What?
And I really, really, really appreciate it.
Ed, I really, really appreciate it. Like sounds the guy is it's not even it doesn't sound genuine at all. It sounds retarded, like the way he's even speaking. Like I thought, I just said this guy probably has good game, but it doesn't even sound like he does. Like it's like you're nice, you're cute, you're sweet. You let me to do what I need to do, and I really, really appreciate it. I will support. I need your help. What? That's funny though.
And we will lift each other. You're nice, you're cute, you're sweet. You let me to do what I need to do, and I really, really, really appreciate it.
For Celia, the relationship started out innocently enough.
This was the first time.
Honestly, after hearing that, this girl deserved to get scammed. Like it's just like you fall for that like retard, then I just said I thought the guy had good game, but that was like imagine sending a girl a voice message like that. You're nice, you're cute, you're sweet. You let me to do whatever I want to do. It's just like, oh man, like it just shows like how powerful like thirst trapping these girls are. If you're like good looking and like you show that you have a lot of money, these chicks will let a lot slide. Like even like dumb voice messages like that. Like it's such a disingenuous voice message that was. Like how could you fall for that? But
Time where I felt, oh my god, I really like him, and it seems that he really likes me back as well. You like the feeling of being liked.
When do you consider yourself to be?
It seems like he really likes me. Like this, like AI robotic voice. You're nice. You're cute. You are sweet. You let me to do what I like to do. It's just like, how could you fall for that? But she did.
His girlfriend.
I think it was maybe a month after that.
She says Simon told her that his job as a diamond dealer kept him traveling constantly, so they dated long distance. Their romance conducted via modern-day love letters in texts, video messages, and voice recordings.
I wish you a great and a beautiful and a successful and amazing day as you. Kisses.
Simon stole away to London when he
What the fuck? Like,
video messages and voice recordings.
I wish you a great and a beautiful and a successful and amazing day as you. Kisses.
oh my god, that is hilarious. I wish you a great and a beautiful and a successful day. Amazing day as you. Kisses. It's oh man, it's funny. Oh my god, it's so funny that she fell for this. It's so cheesy, man. Like, it's so cheesy. These girls fall for some cheesy, dumb shit. Some dumb fucking shit. The last one, kisses, kisses to you, my sweet lady, my love of sunshine, my beautiful sunshine rainbow, and kisses to you. It's like, what the fuck?
Simon stole away to London when he could, but Celia says that more often than not, he flew her to where he was, always alluding to an element of danger in his job that kept him away, jetting around constantly on private planes.
How often would you see him on a weekly basis?
I saw him like in London the next week, and that's when it started that he couldn't come back to London because of the threats that he had been getting.
Within a week, he was already saying to you, I can't come back to London. There are threats against my life.
But he could get me to where he was.
She says Simon claimed to be under constant threat from unknown nefarious enemies, a hazard, he said, of working in the diamond business.
So there's nothing during this time that's making you think this isn't real, he's fake.
Oh no, no.
Good night, my love. I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you.
That's hilarious. He sounds so like his voice messages are really funny, man. Like
No.
Good night, my love. I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you.
he sounds like so disinterested. Like, he really doesn't give a shit. It's interesting. It goes to show like how it's interesting, like, because it goes to show how much women will let things slide when they become delusional about a guy. Like, they'll let a lot slide, you know, and like make rules for betas and break rules for alphas, kind of thing. It's like they'll just see things with rose tinted glasses. Like, these voice messages are retarded as fuck. Like, but even the way he's saying them, you know, he's not even trying, but it's like she's not like she's just like, I don't know what's going on, but she's she just is letting it slide because she's fantasizing about living this, like, you know, luxurious lifestyle with a guy. Yeah, she's basically a gold digger, and like, you're letting all this slide. She's just like consuming all this fake bullshit, and yeah, just living in a fantasy world and not, like, you know, not thinking straight at all.
Celia says that Simon surrounded himself with people who helped perpetuate the myth, even going so far as to send videos of himself and his bodyguard in the hospital after they were allegedly attacked.
Okay, you got to give it to the guy for setting this up. I mean, that's going pretty far. That is
soon there was another strange allegedly attacked.
That is some that's putting a good bit of effort in. Like, I mean, did he really
so far as to send videos of himself and his bodyguard in the hospital?
It looks like a real it looks like a real ambulance, maybe. But who knows? Maybe he did get attacked. I mean, maybe there was, you know.
Soon there was another strange element to his story. She says he asked her to extend her line of credit to him so that plane tickets, hotels, and dinners would be booked using her name, keeping supposed enemies thrown off his trail.
How do you go from being with someone who's presented as a very wealthy man to someone who you now need to give money to?
Protection. I know it's not right, but he needed my name as a cover, he said.
Protection from?
His enemies, as he's calling them.
You just believed him when he said that?
I know it sounds so crazy, and I wish I could take everything back. It's more like when you have a bodyguard, why would this giant guy be with him if he didn't need the protection?
Celia says she relented because Simon promised to pay her back, but repayments from Simon were nowhere to be seen, despite his insistence that they were on their way.
The amounts that he needs to be able to just function for a week is just so much. It's never just a few thousand. For us normal people, that is a lot of money, but for him, it's not a lot of money.
How could you have trusted him to take out that amount of money?
Like, of course, he has the money, so he will pay me back. You didn't even think that it was a problem when you were taking up the loans because you were so sure that the money existed.
Apart from anything else, you loved him.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part of it. Like when I realized that he wasn't who he said it was the love aspect, that the person that I thought that I knew and loved, he had just done this in the most evil way.
Suddenly, Celia's dream.
It's funny, you know, there's a lesson in there, you know. It's like, it just shows, like, you know, she says she loved him. It's like, you know, did she love him, or did she love, you know, the lifestyle that she thought, you know, that he had. But it's also funny how she used the word evil. I mean, you know, women do this to men all the time, and no one calls it evil. It's like, oh, you go, girl, you get the bag, you know, get that bag, bitch, get, you know, it's just like, it's just accepted as normal when women do it. But if the tables are turned, it's just interesting, because this almost never happens women. So that's why this is an interesting story. That's why they're talking about it, because this is like this happens like all the time on fucking, this happens all the time to men, like every day. This happens to men every single day, to dumbass men. You know, idiots, dumbass, stupid, idiot men. I mean, I think even the Tates talked about it. The Tate brothers used to run a cam agency, or they have cam models. And they talked openly on their YouTube channel about how, you know, they would sit behind the keyboard, and in one case there was a guy that was willing to, you know, pay to have a girl fly out to him. There was no girl that was going to fly out to the guy that was paying for the cam model. The girl had no intention of flying out to him, but regardless, the guy thought that she was going to fly out to him, and the guy sent thousands and thousands and thousands, you know, hoping that, you know, for her flights and all this. And the girl just said, oh, something came up, I couldn't come. But the guy still sent the money. So this happens, like, but that's only like, this happens every day. This is probably happening right now as we speak. Like, there's probably, like, you know, guys are getting scammed out of money, like, left, right, and center. And they probably deserve it. They're idiots. They're fucking stupid. Like, if you're paying for some cam model, you're a fucking dumbass. You're an idiot. Don't do it. Like, if you're watching this and you're signed up to OnlyFans, unsubscribe now. Do it. Like, just unsubscribe. Please don't pay for cam models. Like, just unsubscribe. Seriously, if anyone is watching this, like, like anyone watching it on replay, whatever, if you come across this and you're subscribed to anything like OnlyFans or any kind of porn website, just like do yourself a favor and just unsubscribe. Like, please just unsubscribe to any of that shit, because you're getting, you know, you might not be getting scammed out of $200,000, but you're getting, like, if you're subscribed to any kind of porn service or anything like that, like, just have a look at yourself in the mirror and just please unsubscribe. It's not a good idea.
Dream romance was crushing down around her.
Two guys from American Express comes to you. They said that that's him. That's the guy. They told me that they had a long investigations on him already, and that I was a string of 4 or 5 women. I almost wanted to throw up. Everything just came crushing down at once.
Celia alleges that Simon was continuing to run the same scheme that put him in Finnish jail just a few years ago, using her money to fund his luxury life.
You gotta hand it to the guy. I mean, he looks kind of like a dork. I mean, the glasses make him look like a dork. I mean, he's not ugly, but he looks like kind of a nerd. He's not, maybe girls find him handsome. I don't know. He's not super handsome, is he? I don't know. He looks like a fucking bit of a nerd, but I gotta hand it to him. You gotta hand it to him. I don't know if it's worth it if you're gonna be going to jail over this shit, but still kind of funny. Yeah, probably not worth it if you're gonna be if you're gonna be going to jail over this shit. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. But it's funny how men go to jail for this kind of shit, but women, I don't think, would women go to jail for this? I don't know if they would. It'd just be like,
lifestyle and lure other women into his orbit. A cycle doomed to repeat itself until his arrest.
Yeah, I had to be put into a psychiatric ward because of suicidal thoughts. I didn't see a way out. You lost your boyfriend, and not in that he just dumped you. He never existed. He was never your boyfriend.
Celia has told ABC via text that news of Simon's arrest was really amazing and that she believes media attention was an important factor leading to his capture. Simon, in statements made to reporters outside of court in Athens, declared that he will go back to Israel and face what is waiting for him there. For now, Celia remains in London, trying to rebuild her life.
I see a difference in myself when I talk to people.
Maybe less naive.
Much less naive.
For Nightline, I'm James Longman in London.
Our darkest days in the battle against COVID are ahead of us.
oh shit, I'm muted. But yeah, man was spinning plates next level for real, man. He was taking that player lifestyle to the next level. Yeah, got it, man. Got it. Understood. He was definitely taking that shit to the next level. But yeah, men get punished for that though. Men get punished for spending that high level of plates. But yeah, women do this all the time, and there's no punishment. There's no punishment for women. Like there's just double standards. You gotta accept that. Like men and women are not equal. We're not the same. There's double standards. We're really not the same. Like men and women are just not the same. And not the same at all. Just like I was saying earlier, this shit happens every day to men, like all over the place. The only reason this is a news story, why people find it interesting, is because people know that, like they know that this is the guy's, he's turning the tables. Usually this works the other way around. Usually it's that women are taking money from men, but this guy's like turning tables. That's why people are interested in the stories, because it's people know that that's difficult to do. Like it's harder to it's women are hella stingy with their money. Like they'll spend money on themselves, but if you can get a woman to spend money on you, then that's some like player shit. Like that's next level, because it's like women are very solipsistic, narcissistic. Like they'll spend money on themselves and on their offspring. That's pretty much it. Like yeah. So if you're a guy that can get a woman to hand out cash, like you'll pay for your shit, you have game. You have game. That's what I was joking. Like I need the guy. I need to interview the guy. Because he must have some pretty good game, and it sounds like he doesn't have. It's funny because like listening to his voice messages, it sounds like he doesn't have that much game. Oh, you are my sunshine. I feel the happiness on the rainy day when you take away the rain from my body. It's like cheesy, sterile, like ridiculous voice messages that he left. It doesn't sound like he has game, but he's just saying the right things. You are the you are the cutie and the sweet one for me. But it's ridiculous, like um, but like she was seeing it through rose tinted. She was seeing it through rose tinted um glasses, even with those ridiculous voice messages. Like those voice messages were like ridiculous, but she was seeing the lifestyle. It goes to show like clout and like insta clout and lifestyle like can really, man, these girls will give you a lot of passes, like really they really will, like they'll get, you can even, it goes to show that guy can go like sing these like monotone sterile kind of voice, like you know saying these kind of absurd things. But like if you show pictures of yourself with private jets and like with in looking like you're living this like luxurious lifestyle, they'll give you a lot of passes. I've even seen it on a smaller scale where I've talked about this before, but um even I see how Insta Clout works. Not for me personally, because I don't have one of those, like I have a private Instagram, but I don't. It's not. It's not something that I don't do Insta game too much. But a friend of mine here here in Tokyo, he's a DJ and a model, and oh, it's fucking hilarious. So because I've done game with him, Cold Approach, and we do sets. We've done sets together, and we roll up to two girls and open them, and the girls would always be, I think they would be equally. He has pretty good games, so I have pretty good game too. So I always thought girls would be quite initially, they would be equally as receptive to both of us. Sometimes they'd be more receptive to him, sometimes they'd be more receptive to me, depending on the girls that we approached. But here's the thing, when it got to the point of exchanging Instagram, everything changed, because this guy's a DJ and a model, and yeah, so he has like about 15,000 followers on Instagram. So whenever we exchanged Instagram, like the girls would change, like they'd see his Instagram and be like, their eyes would just light up, like, and they'd be way more receptive to him from there on out, just because of that, just because of the clout, just because of the initial, like, everything changed. And it's very red pilling, actually. It's very like, wow, it says a lot about female nature. And yeah, so you got to see it, but it's just it's an interesting lesson. But so obviously he always has the upper hand from there on out. But it goes to show these girls, they're very fickle. They really are. A lot of them are very fickle. Like they'll place a lot of value on that kind of shit, like on that shit. So if you're gonna play insta game, You got it. You can even fake. You can honestly, you can fake it. Like you can really fake it. Like you can pay for followers. You can just pay someone to take photos of you, say that you're a DJ. Obviously, it's like I don't know. It's gonna might be harder to pretend that you're a DJ, but like you don't even have to be a DJ, but you can just get professionally taken photos, pay for followers. Sounds lame as fuck. It does, like, but honestly, a lot of these even models and DJs and shit like that, even celebrities, a lot of these people pay for followers. A lot of them initially, a lot of the time, the followers aren't real. Um, for people that are so so called, yeah, it's not that my friend's a celebrity or anything, not at all, but like yeah, that's a lot of the time even people who are getting started in the entertainment industry will pay for followers. Like the followers aren't real, but like that shit has an effect on chicks. Yeah, and it all depends. I'm just not really fucking bothered to play that kind of game. I just rather not do it. Um but yeah, these it's like it says a lot about female nature. Um yeah, but I mean, you know, the only time you really got to worry about a gold digger if you first of all if you have a lot of money and you're a bit of a simp. Like, if there's not really much women can do if you don't have that much money to give them in the first place. But it's always good to know what you're dealing with. Like there's some women, like at the end of the day, there's just some women out there that there's a lot of women that are like, in a certain category, like that won't get with a guy unless he has a certain amount of money. And there's some women that like they just feel entitled to a guy that unless they'll only go for guys that have a certain amount of money, regardless of how good looking he looks. There's some women that will only, that will want all three, money, muscles, game categories. They'll want them all to be like tens, because women are hypergamous and they just feel entitled to it. They just feel like they deserve it. Even though a lot of them don't. Um, well, let's see. Let me share something. Yeah. So, what is a gold digger? I think we all know what a gold digger is. But yeah, you should. You should never let someone use you for any reason. Yeah. How to spot the signs of girls who are gold diggers? Yeah. So, number one, overly agreeable attitude. There are plenty of girls who are go with the flow and very laid back. The difference with girls who are gold diggers is that they agree with everything you say and do with a lot of enthusiasm. This is to make you like them and want to spend money on them. It's a manipulation tactic. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I do, actually. I don't think I do agree with that, actually, because gold diggers are that's that's weird, because I don't gold diggers are more likely to be, in my opinion, more likely to be more opinionated, more entitled, more demanding about where the date's going to be, etc. So actually, I totally disagree with this one. It's odd that it's odd. I gotta say I disagree with that one. Gold digger, in my opinion, are way more likely to be outspoken and disagreeable, because they're going to be demanding and they're going to want they're going to want this, that, and the other. So let's say number two. She has everything in common with you. This is another way some girls will try to manipulate you. When you first get to know her, she'll basically tell you she likes all the same things you do. You'll know if this is true if you're the one always talking about what you like and she simply jumps in to tell you me too. I mean, you can tell when a girl is being disingenuous, just disingenuous or not. I mean, yeah, I mean, if a girl if a girl likes you, she'll try and show interest in what you're talking about. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm not. I don't know. Number 3, she compliments you too much. There comes a point when compliments are just way too much. Sure, she may really like how you look, but after a while, it's just not genuine. If she's complimenting you over and over again, then you know it's just a lie and she just wants to butter you up so you spend money on her. Yeah, I don't know. Again, sometimes girls will genuinely compliment you, and sometimes it'll be disingenuous. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just about being able to read people. Yeah, I mean, it could be that they're using it to manipulate you, but you should be able to read that. 4, she uses sex as a weapon, and she'll also hold it over your head. Basically, if you do anything wrong and she refuses to have sex with you because of it, she's probably a gold digger. This is another way she gets you to buy her stuff. If you get her a new purse and she has sex with you again, it's a reward system. She's conditioning you to basically pay for her lady bits. Well, this one I can agree with, and this is really the first one that I do agree with, because I've actually, yeah, the first 3 I wasn't so agreeing with, but yeah, this is definitely true. If you have to negotiate with a girl over sex, there's no genuine desire, move on. Like, she's not the one. She is for the streets. If you are negotiating about sex, forget it. Move on. There's something wrong in that relationship. Get out of it. Like, seriously, like, I can agree with this one wholeheartedly. Didn't so much like the first 3 ones, but okay. 5, she gushes over your job or expensive possessions. It's less about what a good person you are and more about what you can provide her with. If you're a doctor, it's normal for women to think that's really incredible because of the fact that you're helping someone. But if your job isn't morally all that great and she still gushes about it, it's probably because it's known that people in your position make a lot of money. Yeah, I can agree with this one as well. Um, you know, women, but a lot of women don't care. They care more about what you are rather than who you are. Yeah, it's just like female nature. Um, you know, but yeah, you probably want to get with someone that cares more about who you are rather than what you are. Um, yes. 6, she has expensive taste. Does she buy top of the line everything? Are all of her clothes name brand? If so, she's definitely a gold digger. People who have really expensive tastes and also don't have a super high paying job often need someone else to buy those things for them, which means they'll seek out wealthy people and latch onto them like a leech to flesh. I'll agree with this one too. I gotta be honest, like, I mean, it is like when I approach a girl wearing like, and she's wearing head to toe designer, they do tend to be harder. Like, it definitely, they're definitely not as like, they definitely try and scope you out more. This is from experience. Like, I've done thousands of approaches. So, like, when I'm dealing like with, if I approach a girl and she's wearing like, because you can see, like, I'm aware of brands. So, like, sometimes these girls are wearing like head to toe, like fucking, they're wearing probably like, if you did an estimate of how much they're wearing, it'd be over like, it could be over $10,000. Like, if pair, because sometimes these girls are wearing Gucci boots. Those boots would be the boots alone are like $3,000. They're yeah, seriously, I'm not joking. Like, you can see girls in Tokyo, they could easily be wearing over $10,000 worth of designer goods, like including the jewelry and all that shit. So, you know, it's not out of the question. And I've approached these girls, and it's that the thing about these girls, it's you can get receptivity from them, but before anything can happen with them, they'll try and discover what you do and like what you're like. They're not going to just go on a date with you. Well, these girls that wear designer goods and like have all the, really expensive fashion, they'll tend to they'll want to know exactly what you're about before they go on a date with you. They won't commit to a date unless they know what you're about. Like they know exactly where you live, what you do from work and all that shit. So, and they'll want they'll really they'll push on it. Like they're not just gonna take something. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, I do this," and they'll question you about it. This is definitely a pattern. I've noticed it. Um, girls with really expensive taste are definitely they're harder in Tokyo anyway. They're harder to bed. Um, yeah. So because a lot of especially in Japan, a lot of these really good looking girls, they'll they'll tend to try and monetize their beauty. They're you gotta hand it them. They're kind of smart in that sense. Like Japanese girls really will try and monetize because they know they can. That's the thing. They know that they can. Yeah. So because Japanese guys will simp for them and shit. They will. 7 gifts will always make her forgive you. Basically, anytime you get into a fight, it's resolved when you buy her something. She's a gold digger. Problems should be sorted out through communication, lavish gifts. Yeah, can agree with this one too. Yeah, if you're buying gifts to me, yeah, she's obviously a gold digger. It's pretty obvious. 8, she doesn't pay attention when you talk. This is really easy to notice because she won't be able to remember anything you say or anything important about you. It's because she doesn't care about you. She only cares what's in your wallet. Yeah, man, this is really, really annoying. This is actually really annoying. I mean, this is actually really annoying when a man or a woman does this. Even if you're talking to a dude at a party or a girl or whatever, you can know when someone's really not listening to what you're saying, and they're like maybe they're looking at their phone, and then you say something and they're not listening to that, or you're mid sentence and you're saying something, and then they start talking, they speak over you and say something completely different. That pisses me the fuck off, man or woman. When a man or woman does that, that pisses me off. Like even if a friend does that to me, that pisses me off. Like if you're saying something and then they say something completely different, like if you're telling a story or something and then they just completely bring up like a different, like they speak over you and say something completely different, like they're not even listening to you. That is fucking annoying. There's one thing that pisses me off about like socializing with people. That pisses me off. Like, if someone like completely disregards what you've been saying, doesn't like acknowledge what you're saying, and yeah, I'll call people out about that. I'll be like, all right, it just pisses me off, man. Pisses me off. So, girl, yeah, I'll agree with this one too. So, if a guy or a girl or doesn't pay attention to what you're saying, they're really not interested in it's a really disrespectful thing to do, actually. Sometimes people are retarded. 9, she forgets your big events but never hers. Basically, she doesn't make room in her schedule for stuff you need her to be at, but she'll always write things down. She'll always write things she wants to go to. Concerts, dinners, and even shopping dates with friends are never missed. Yeah, what comes to mind here? Girls that celebrate their birthdays too much. This is, a girl's for the streets if she celebrates her birthday too much. A girl is a really sweet girl when she's like almost a bit like self-conscious about her birthday. And girls should be self-conscious about their birthdays because they're getting older and they're like, yeah, it's nothing to celebrate. It's really, birthdays for women are really nothing to celebrate, really. Like they're getting older, and it's actually tragic. Every birthday that every year that they get older is after they reach their peak. I'd say every every year after 21 for a girl is kind of tragic. It gets more and more tragic. That's the cold hard truth. That is the goddamn cold hard truth. Every year, I say it again. Every year after a girl is 21, every birthday after 21 is kind of tragic for a woman because it's like, she's getting older. Um, yeah, but girls that celebrate their birthdays, girls, you'll see it on social media and shit. Girls that like advertise their birthday, like really self confidently, like advertise and celebrate their birthday way too much. These girls are for the streets. These girls for the streets. And I'll say it again. Girls that are kind of modest and kind of shy and self conscious about their birthdays, these girls are generally pretty sweet girls. That's a good sign that she's a decent girl, let's just say. If they're kind of modest, embarrassed, like self-conscious about their birthday, that's something, yeah, for sure. She requires you to join her expensive clubs and dinner parties. Does she have expensive taste when it comes to clubs and food too? If so, she could only be with you for your money. Girls who are gold diggers like to dine at really nice establishments, even if they can't afford it themselves. Okay, that's why you got to be really, really fucking sure. Like, that's why you never enter a girl's frame. Never, especially on the first date. Like, you never go where they tell you to go. You never meet them where they tell you to meet them. Everything has to be like, you have to set the frame. Like, there has to be a leader, and if you follow like their lead from the start, it's over. It's over. There's no point. What is the point? Um, yeah. So like, yeah. Sometimes, and again, back to the doing cold approaches to these like girls that wear designer goods. Another thing that I've noticed is that a lot of the time, even if I do get their contacts, is establish some kind of like some chemistry like right off the bat, establish some escalate a little bit. When it comes to trying to like, unless it's going to be an immediate date, like interestingly, like the only time I tend to like bang these like high level like you know gold digger types is like if it's immediate date. It has to be an immediate date. If there's too much time that comes between me and if she finds out too much, because I'm not gonna entertain a gold digger. So if they understand that, and if it's like because if you give time to a gold digger, as in like you get her number and you try and arrange a date, oftentimes she's going to try and call the shots, or like she's gonna establish exactly where the date's going to be. She, like she might listen to what your suggestion is, and then she's going to find out where that restaurant is or wherever it's going to be. And if it's not like some really fancy place, she'll try and like call the shots. She'll try and like get you to go somewhere else. And yeah, it's just not good. Yeah, so like if I'm trying to bang gold diggers, it's gonna have to be on the first date. Like not even the first date, but like like same day lay kind of thing. Um that's what you gotta go for. 11, you don't actually know much about her. How much do you actually know about her? Does she talk about her family, her values, or anything of relevance to a relationship? If she doesn't, it could be a sign that she's just a gold digger who's after you for your money. Um, yeah, I mean, that I could agree with that too. They're not going to tell you that much. They're not going to tell you much personal details, stuff like that. Yeah, just be kind of cold. You'll pick up on that. 12, she's out of your league significantly. This might be a hard one for you to admit, but it'll help you determine if she's a gold digger or not. A girl who's very, very attractive dating a guy who isn't exactly the best looking is cause for serious alarm. And if you make a ton of money, that might be the reason she's attracted to you. That's a cold hard. That's a truth bomb there too. You know, it's not that you can't punch up with game, but like, you know, there's certain realities. You know, yeah, you gotta be you gotta be based in reality when it comes to approaching women. If you're like a 4 out of 10, a 5 out of 10 guy, and you're going doing cold approaches to 10 out of tens, girls that are dressed in designer goods, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's why I'm like, I'm very real about things. Like, it's like, you know, obviously you want to go for hot girls, but you know, if you're like a fucking 5 out of 10 guy, average guy, and you're going for a girl that's dressed head to toe in Gucci and she's really hot, like, you know, yeah, it's gonna be hard. Um 13, you're not liked by most people. Um on the flip side, if you're good looking but a really big asshole, she could be a gold digger because of the amount of money you make. Nobody wants to spend their time with a mean person unless that person can compensate for it fairly. I guess that one could be true. Um, but women, yeah, women care more. I mean, women end up with assholes all the time. But yeah. So 14, she's actually asked for money from you. If you've been in a relationship for a long time and she's asking you for money because she's running low, that's not a cause for alarm. It's only when the relationship is very new and she's already asking you for money that it becomes an issue. I mean, that's a very fucking obvious one. That's like right in your face, obvious. Like, you know. Um yeah, so I mean, that's as obvious as it gets. If a girl is asking you for money, it's like she's obviously a gold digger. Um 15, her job doesn't pay much even if she has a job. Um yeah, I mean, that's funny. I mean, when girls are, you know, a girl's a gold digger when I'll just stop sharing that. But you know, a girl's a gold digger when their job does, like, they work, they're a nurse or something. You see it a lot in Japan as well. Like, a girl will be a nurse but she'll be hot, but she'll be wearing like head to toe designer goods. And it's like, okay, all right. Or they're students. They're students and they're like dressed head to toe in designer goods. Man, Japan is the country of like sugar daddies. Like, it really is. Like, and it's not simping and sugar daddies. Like, Japanese guys get, these girls rip Japanese guys off so hard. Um, I often say, like, you see a lot of, you go out, if I leave my house in Japan and today in Tokyo and go out anywhere, I'm gonna see like a guy that's like a fucking, like a dork with like a really attractive feminine girl. But I've been thinking about it recently, and I've realized that a lot of the time when you see these like dorks and with really hot girls, it's like a lot of the time these guys have like simped so hard and like put in so much work to get with these hot girls, and eventually they might get them, but it's just something that I would never ever do. I would never invest that much time, and you know, sometimes these guys will be strung on for months, possibly even a year. Um, like ridiculous amounts of simping and time put in just to get with one girl. Like, I would never do that. But yeah, but so, you know, like I was saying, these, you know, you see these college students or you know, low paying regular job girls dressed head to toe in designer goods. It's like they have a sugar daddy, they're gold diggers, like they're trying to monetize their beauty. It's like, I've said it before, but you know, you'll see these girls in Tokyo, like girls that I know live in Tokyo, that are posting like videos or like Instagram photos from like hotel rooms, like hotel fancy, you know, 5-star hotel rooms in Tokyo. It's like, you live in Tokyo, like obviously you're low key fucking low key hook, like pimping your, getting your ass pimped out, or pimping yourself out. but it's funny, like it's obvious that's what's going down, like because they live in Tokyo. Why are they in a different hotel room every weekend in Tokyo? I mean, doesn't take a genius to understand what's actually going on. They're low key hookers. Um, there's a lot of low key fucking prostitution that goes on, and the reason I call it low key is because it's not like a full time job. It's not like hardcore prostitution, as in girls are like banging multiple guys every day. It's more like low key, like they have like who knows, like low key they have one or two guys every week, but they get a lot of money out of them, like and get really get expensive gifts, so maybe one or two guys every week, and they're all really rich guys that are paying for shit. That's what's called low key prostitution. The word we call it today is like, oh, they're sugar babies. Yeah, they're low key prostitutes. That's what it is. Or escorts. It's funny, like all these words that they come up with to make prostitution sound like less of what it is. But it is the reality of the modern world that we live in. Just but it's funny, like if you called out these girls, like for like if you said to, I'm sure if I call the girls out about, I'm not gonna call them out because I don't give a fuck. Like, but if I met a girl, that one of these girls that posts photos from her like these hotel rooms, the thing is, like, these girls wouldn't, although it's very obvious what they're doing, like at the same time they'd like never admit to what they're doing. That's the hypocrisy. It's like they're clearly, we know what's going on. Like they're hooking up with different men that are paying for these hotel rooms. But like if you like ask them about it, you're like, why are you staying in these hotel rooms? Like what's going on? Like don't you live in Tokyo? They'd be like, they would get very uncomfortable. They wouldn't tell you the truth about what they're actually doing. And if you suggested, like, oh, are you hooking up with different men? Is that what's going on? How dare you to say that? Oh, you're so rude. That's disgusting. I'm not a prostitute. I'm not a hooker. But that's kind of what you're doing, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. Like if you come across a gold digger, it's pretty obvious. I know immediately. I mean, I can often tell, like even before I've even talked to them. Like it's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what a gold digger is. It really doesn't. Like a lot of time you can tell from looks alone. Like if she's wearing like really expensive clothes, a lot of the time she's going to be a gold digger, like 9 out of 10 times. Like the only exception she wouldn't be is if she's only wearing these really expensive items is because her family's really rich and she can just afford that shit. And even if that's the case, she's still probably going to be a gold digger because like she's used to living that luxurious lifestyle. So she's not going to punch down. She's not going to go down like and start like dating a guy that can't afford to provide that kind of lifestyle. So let's just say fucking 10 out of 10 times, if you see a girl wearing like really expensive clothes, like we're talking Gucci, Louis Vuitton, like Prada, like items that cost like thousands, like thousands of dollars, like thousands of dollars for a jacket or a purse or stuff like that, let's just be honest, like 10 out of 10 times they're probably a gold digger because they like expensive items. They're telling you that they like expensive things. So they're going to like a guy that can provide expensive things. It is what it is. And a lot of times you can judge a book by its cover. Oh, you can't judge a book by its cover. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Yeah, but like a lot of the time you can. Sometimes you're wrong about it. Yeah, but you know, we're all human. We judge by, you know, appearances. You know, but that's the world we live in. That's the reality of the world we live in. You gotta operate in probabilities. You know, but yeah, guys, gonna cut it there. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. You know, check out the links in the description if you're interested in you know, refining your game. You know, hit me up for a consultation. You know, book a consultation on Day Game, can help sort you out. But yeah, I'll be back on Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a good weekend. Peace out, guys. Catch you on the flip side.